You are listening to The Michael Lodge Show. Wealth, business, and taxes. Oh, yeah, and some politics. Let's get started.
So the question that we need to ask ourselves, how are we all feeling? We have gone through a nightmare of an election. We have seen corruption, we've heard about corruption, we've seen a corrupt family running for presidency in the Bidens, we've seen the news media covering up for the Bidens, we've really been manipulated. We have truly, truly been manipulated. Looking at the Twitter accounts this morning and looking at all of the accusations and finger pointing and words and everything else. And I came back, as I got out of bed, I got up and I started walking down the hallway to get my coffee. And it hit me all of a sudden that I don't have any more faith in this government. I have no more faith in our judicial system. I have no more faith in our electoral system. We have literally seen a Congress lie, steal, and chill. Steal, not chill. I'm the one that's chilling at the moment. But we've seen them do nothing but nonsense, not working for the American people. We see a DOJ that knows that there's crimes being committed out there, but they're doing nothing. We see an FBI that's hiding documents. We see an election system where dead people are voting and people who don't live in the state are voting. And people who want to vote find out that they've already voted. Somebody else has filled in their mail-in ballot and voted for them. So we have a whole election in a whole bunch of different states where the vote has become corrupted. It's become tainted. It's become dirty. So I hate to say this, and I don't want to say it, because I love this country too much, but I have lost faith. I have lost faith in a government that is supposed to be protecting our rights, and instead they seem to be abusing it. States that are heavily dominantly run by Democratic politicians who are willing to do and say almost anything to get what they want. And to even destroy whole communities and let Black Lives Matter and Antifa destroy whole communities and not lift a single finger to help those people in that community, in that neighborhood. So I think that as I'm sitting here, you and I, we're on our own. We have to fight for whatever we have. If President Biden gets elected, we're going to have to fight. Our fight becomes harder, it becomes stronger, it becomes louder. It's no longer conservatives or Republicans or independents sitting on the side anymore. We have to get involved. And I've been saying this for a long time, that we are not involved in our country anymore. People don't even know how to become involved. Unless it's rioting or plundering or looting. I never thought in all of this world, in all of this country, that we would be at this part of life. I had a client the other night. It was on election night, as a matter of fact, and I asked the question, did you go out and vote? And she said no, she didn't go out and vote. She said she didn't like either one of the candidates, so she didn't vote. She asked me who I voted for, and I said, well, I voted for Trump. And she says, you're fired. I wasn't fired, really, but that's what she said. And I wondered at that moment, am I going to lose clients because I'm in support of an individual that they don't like? Now, I would never, even though that they like Biden, I would never shun them. I would never stop them from being a client or stop them from being a friend. But that's what we've gotten to. So I'm wondering, all of you that listen to me on a daily basis, and it's all over the country and all over the world, basically. By the way, I got a whole bunch of messages last night on social media saying, you've got to fight for President Trump. I got it from Thailand. I got it from China. China, all of places. I got it from France. I got it from the UK. They said, you've got to fight for him because he's the only one that's keeping this world sane. Amazing that I was getting those comments. But I'm just wondering how the rest of you are feeling. I don't think that we should be discouraged in our democracy. I think we should be discouraged in our government, 100%. In the leaders that are guiding the government, we should be very, very concerned. But in our personal lives, I think we have to keep moving forward, keep fighting on, get involved in our schools and take them back from a socialist ideology. We've got to get involved in our local communities. Work stronger with the black community. Outreach your hands to individuals who want to do something but they don't know how to do it. So work together to get it done, whatever that is. But this is a nation that has always been built that we provided assistance and we helped our neighbors. Remember when the Pilgrims came over, they had a hard time. They had to chop down trees. They had to build houses. They had to plant gardens. They had to do everything. And everybody helped each other. They all worked together. And that's the most important thing about Thanksgiving, is to be thankful for our neighbors and to be thankful for the food and the prosperity that you get from working together. We can't be this divided country anymore. Let's say Biden becomes president. Respect the office. You don't have to respect the man, but respect the office. And if there are issues that you need to fight for them. Sound out. Use your voice. Use your pen and pencil. Use your internet. Use your email systems. Whatever it takes, let your voice be known loudly. But we're not divided. We cannot be divided. The only thing that divides us is socialism. Socialism that is not workable in the United States. It never will be. It will never be allowed. And as Americans, we'll fight it every single day that we're alive. We have seen the destruction that is done to so many different countries. We don't want that destruction done to this great country of ours. Now, I realize that a lot of you young students are being taught socialism in schools by your teachers. If you don't agree with it, sound out. Challenge that professor. If he shuts you down on freedom of speech, challenge him more. Sound them out. Don't just sit there and take it. For us and our families, we should be very concerned about the schools that we're sending our children to. What is being taught there? Who is teaching it? How is it being taught? Get involved with your schools. Form parent groups that monitor what's going on in your schools, in your home rooms of those teachers that are teaching your kids. Just 1 second, coffee break. coffee's so good. In the morning, especially on Friday mornings, because Friday mornings, my office is normally closed. And I try to use it to do catch-up time and catch-up emails and clean the house, do some cooking, do some shopping. Because on the weekends, I still do mediation. I'm still meeting with families. I'm still meeting with businesses. I'm out there talking to these people and trying to help them. But Fridays are special to me because it's that day where I can get the things done that I need to get done. Answer the emails that I've neglected. And I'm sorry, but I've neglected a whole bunch of emails. And then with being sick for 2 weeks, it hindered me getting things done. But every day, I get up, do my thing, meet with my clients. I think one of the I'm digressing here, so I'm sorry, but one of the things that I truly miss is me sitting down with my clients. With family mediation, I really like it when they come. I have a place that's kind of like a living room. They sit down and we talk. We're relaxed. We're not angry. On virtual mediation, it's taken that softness away. And people are willing to say whatever they want to say and hurt the other person on virtual mediation sometimes. I've literally had people yelling at each other at the top of their voice because they're so angry. When I'm meeting with them in person, it's totally different. Because I can read their body language, I can read their faces, I can see how they're getting agitated, and I know how to lead them down that path. Sometimes, on virtual mediation, all that I see is one face, and then sometimes I just have a phone call on the other side. So I don't know how it's going on the other side. This interaction that we used to have with individuals means so much. This face mask wearing and not being able to see if someone's smiling or they're happy to see you or they're happy about their life for that day. Not being able to see that smile because that smile means everything. Now it's just a mask hiding anything that's underneath. Sometimes listen, I am a smiler and I like to smile at everybody that I see. And I still do it with my mask, but they don't see it. They just walk right on past me. We have got to change this attitude of ours. We're getting distant from those that we used to be so close to. We're becoming distant with our clients, distant with our employees and our associates. We've become distant. And with distant, there becomes these issues of conflict. And I think that as we continue on this path of not being socialized with other human beings and other Americans, we are going to become so distant that we are going to be fighting every step of the way. You said what? Without seeing a face or not seeing a body in front of you that's reflecting how they're feeling, it's going to be more conflict. So we have got to think just a little bit differently. Life is too short here. So I really want to know how you guys are feeling out there. This is a Friday. End of the week. You've seen what has gone on. You felt what has gone on. You've been frustrated. You might be a Democrat. You're frustrated. A Republican might be frustrated. I want to know exactly how you are feeling. And you can summarize it in one word. Angry. Misguided. theft. Whatever word that you want. Happy. If you're happy, be happy. Optimistic, be optimistic. Tell me that you're optimistic. Politicized. Media. And, we have got to let these feelings out, because I know that all of you who are listening have had a tough week with this election system. You were scared at the very beginning when election day came, and then when election day came, it became corrupt. And then you became frustrated. I'm assuming. Maybe some of you were jumping with glee. Who knows? But I want to know, just tell me how you feel. And then I want you to tell me how you can improve life around you, within your community. Tell me what you're going to do in your community to make it better. I don't care if you support Trump or if you support Biden or Timbuktu. I don't care. I don't care about that issue. What I want to know and hear from you is, what are you going to do to make your community, your neighborhood, your church, your school better? Tell me what you're going to do. Because right now, it's all about activism. And it means that you have to become active. You have got to become a person that challenges anything that you see that is wrong. But you have to become active in your neighborhood, in your community. Become active in your church. Tell me what you're going to do to accomplish that. Because we can worry about this political election day after day after day, because it's going to be a while, and it is going to be a lawsuit, and it is going to the Supreme Court. But we, as Americans, we have the ability to do something right now. To work with another fellow American in your community to tutor a child, to feed the poor, to hand out blankets, to hand out lunches, to clean up the streets, to go and help an elderly person that needs work on their house, outside, beautify it. Or maybe they need just someone to talk to, or someone that needs to cook them a meal. What are you going to do to make your community better? Forget about the nation. That's too big of a plate for you to take on. But you can do something locally. What will you do? That is the question for today. What will you do to make your community a better community? Think about it. Send me a text. Tell me in 10 or 25 words what you're going to do. Send me a text at 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. Those of you abroad or in a place where you don't have a texting ability to me, send me an email at info@lodge, LODGE-co.com. Again, that's info@lodge, LODGE-co.com. And I promise you I'll respond to your email or your text. I will respond to it. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you're going to make your community better. And how you're going to make your life better. How you're going to make your family's life better. How you are going to make your church life better. How you're going to make the street around your corner more beautiful. Or that child that needs tutoring. How are you going to help that kid? There's so many possibilities out there that you can do in your community. I want you to research it. I want you to look at what the needs are of your community, and then I want you to work at it. And I want you to tell me what you're going to do. Because right now, forget about the politics. This is something that you and I can do together. I love America. I think you do too. I love our communities. I love our neighborhoods. And I think you guys love yours too. We know that we love this nation. Otherwise, we would not get up every single morning, go to work, pay our taxes, pay our bills, keep putting stuff into the economy, trying to do better in our lives, try to build businesses, try to go back to school. And there's a whole list of things that we're trying to do better every single day. But what are we going to do? What are you personally going to do to help your community? Think about the community first, and then the nation will get better. Remember, government doesn't have all the answers. In fact, they probably have no answers. But we do. Because we are smart Americans who love this country. And we can just volunteer our time. Volunteer our time and volunteer our money, volunteer our tools, whatever we can do. Volunteerism is what makes this country. Because we're putting something back into our neighborhoods, our communities. And I also suggest one other thing of you. Get going back to church. I tell you, with that stability of church and God, so much can be done in your own personal lives. I am so happy that we are Americans. And I'm so happy that all of you people who listen to me around the world, in so many different countries, are listening in to see what's happening with America, because I know that you're concerned also. You're watching us saying, what has happened to America? I know that some of you are saying, gosh, they're just like a third world country. But in all honesty, we're not, because we think from the ground up and we go upward. And we look at what we can do to make things better as Americans. And we may not agree with our politicians, but we do challenge them. Because we have that freedom of speech and that ability to challenge a bad position that a politician is taking. In a lot of third world countries, you don't have that ability. But here in America, if we see something wrong, we can stand up, we can challenge it, and we can try to get it stopped, or for a good thing to go forward. So don't think of us as, well, what happened to America? They're a third world country. We're not, because we know what we're doing. And even though that we may have a bad president of any kind, we as Americans are the ones that keep this country going. Not politicians. Not judges. It's us, Americans. We're the ones that keep this country going forward. And no matter what happens within this election, that will still happen with us, because we have this get up and go gumption fighting attitude that says we will make this place better. And we always do. And that's what America is all about. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to tell me what you're going to do for this great country, send me a text at 818-252-5682, or send me an email at info@lodge, LODGE-co.com, and I'll answer every single one of them. Everybody go out and have a great day. This is my day off, but I came in just to talk to you. This is Mike Lodge. God bless. This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content. God bless.